Hey everybody, welcome back to Labs Comic Fan. I am Steve, and it has been a while since I've been able to do one of these shows. I'm just going to get right into it. Where have I been? What's been going on? Why has there been no videos? Well, about 3 weeks ago, I found out that I have something called hypokalemia, and it's a potassium deficiency, and it affects your heart. It can. Mine, that's what it did, and I went into something called tachycardia. And basically I had a heart attack. That's it. That's the only, and from potassium deficiency. And for the last couple of weeks, I have been on a potassium replacement therapy. Everything seems so far to be going well. They've been doing a lot of tests, but I was told, keep your stress to a minimum and all that stuff and just focus on getting well. So I wanted to put the show to the side for a little bit and just get better. I looked at some of my old videos and I was like, man, I look really sick, and I'm sure I still might look a little bit sick, but I'm telling you guys honestly, I feel a lot better. They've been doing a lot of blood tests. I just went today to give more blood. They're trying to figure out why it's happening. So that's as much as I know, but I could tell you, I'll do a podcast or a video telling you the whole story. It's really fucked up. But I just wanted to give you some updates. We are still doing the contest for the Loki Perler. And at 100 subscribers, we will pick the winner. And I say we, and who is we? The guy that I did the show with, revealing the Loki Perler, my buddy John at Corrupted Perlers on Instagram and everywhere else. Me and him have become really good friends, and we're going to do something together where we're going to combine our efforts and come up with our own channel. It's still going to have the Laps Comic Fan. That's still going to be a thing. Bat Bits is still going to be a thing. I'm going to be able to start doing all of this stuff. My work is starting to slow down. It's starting to become our slow period. And once it does, I will be able to focus a lot of my time towards this. It's just really hard right now because it's like I want to do this stuff and I want to go gung-ho, but I have to put my health first because that was crazy, man. It was just nuts. And we thought that we could do something as a multimedia channel. And we're going to have a schedule. There's going to be a schedule coming out around October. So I gave myself a little bit of time. We're going to start doing stuff in October, and there will be a schedule of when Labs Comic Fan is out, when Bat Bits will be out, and the other shows that we have in store for you guys. There's a lot of stuff that we're going to do. He has a bunch of cool Perler videos that are like time-lapse videos, stuff like that. There's going to be a lot of giveaways. I have a whole bunch of stuff built up, comic books, DVDs, all sorts of stuff to give away. And we're going to have art giveaways, all sorts of crazy stuff. And once we hit 100 subscribers, the reason why we want to do it at 100 is because on YouTube, you can go live after you have 100 subscribers, and we're going to start doing live shows, all sorts of stuff like that. But the main thing for me was to do this for fun and have fun with people, interact with people, and get to know the comic book fandom, because that's where my heart is in comic books and getting back into it. I thought it was a cool idea to have, there's all these people that have so much knowledge of comics, and I thought, wouldn't it be cool to see like what a person who hasn't read comics in a very long time thinks about the new stuff, while also reading some of his favorites. And how it honestly started was I was going through a bunch of my stuff, and I was finding some old like report cards and all sorts of stuff. I used to have a decent comic collection before I left my house, my parents' house, in around 97, 98. It wasn't big, but I had all the Marvel Series 1 cards and Series 2. I had a bunch of the X-Men blue and gold cards, and I had a lot of DC comics. And one of the comics that I had found is what kind of got me back into this, because it was such a random comic. And over the years, my house had been broken into a bunch of times. People had stolen stuff. It's gotten wrecked. So I had nothing when I came back to help my mom and dad, who are a lot older now. My dad was going through a lot of health problems. He had passed this past year. And I was going through all this stuff, and I found, from the first episode of The Laps Comic Fan, I found this. And it's weird that I found this because it's in pretty decent condition. It's not mint or anything like that. But for the fact of where it was and what it is, the Starman, for the invasion aftermath, like the invasion angle was just, it was hilarious. And it's just ridiculous. But the Starman comic was like, oh man, I used to love reading comics. And then I had been looking on YouTube and found a bunch of different channels like Comics Explained and Comic Pop, which are two of my favorite channels. And I was like, man, looks like they're having so much fun. I would love to do something like this. And I had met John a couple years ago at the job I have. I work for a government contractor, and we started talking, and he had read comics before, but was a gigantic comic reader, but he does like comics. And I started buying a bunch of stuff. I dropped like $3,000 on some comics from Amazon, just a bunch of everything. And I started letting him borrow stuff. We started talking. We were like, man, we should do something with this. And it would be a lot of fun because we were having these conversations about stuff, and it was like just stupid stuff. We'd be on lunch break sitting in his car, and we'd be like, do you think if like Wolverine swallowed a bunch of acid, that he could just be like a skeleton, because he has a healing factor, like just dumb stuff like that, you know what I mean? And when we would do this, I was like, whoa, you better not say that on the internet, because there's going to be some guys that might get mad at you and be like, well, this is exactly what it is, and this is how it would work. But then we started thinking, like, how would it be for fans who have a limited knowledge, or someone like me who had a decent amount of knowledge from about 1983 till about 97, 98. What would it be like for them to try to get back into comics with the continuity, with all the crazy stuff that had been going on and all that stuff? And then Three Jokers had come out. I was looking for something about the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie. And I had been paying attention a little bit here and there and watching the MCU movies and the DC Dark Knight movies and stuff. The Superman movies, the Zack Snyder Superman, kind of threw me off. But I did really like his version of the Justice League movie. Now, I don't know if I would have liked that if it came out first, or do I like it a lot better in comparison to the Joss Whedon bullshit that came out. So we thought, let's do something with this. So I started making shows and stuff like that, and they're not good. You know what I mean? I was nervous. I didn't know what to do, and I wasn't being really myself, because I was like, I swear a lot, and I say dumb random stuff, and my mouth gets me in a lot of trouble. And I was like, well, I thought about it, and after the heart attack, I was like, you know what, fuck it, I'm just gonna be myself. I just want to have fun with this, and I think people, they'll either like me or they'll hate me, but at least I would like to interact with some people online. I thought it would be a lot of fun. And when I started looking at Starman, I was like, well, maybe this is one I could review, because people like reviewing, like seeing people review terrible shit, and I am gonna do this one day. So that's kind of what started this show and started the channel. But in October, we will be rebranding, and the Lapsed Comic Fan will be on the channel. So will Bat Bits. So will everything that I do. So will everything John does. And you guys are going to love John. He's hilarious. He's a great dude, and he's really funny. And he's been nothing but a great friend to me. He's been like, I talk to him every day. He's been a real help for me getting through this time. And a lot of things have happened. My wife's mother just passed suddenly. It was like, literally, I had a heart attack, boom, a couple weeks later her mother passed. And it's just been really, really rough on us. And I lost my dad less than a year ago. So this whole calendar year has just been a big pile of dick. And being able to talk to people about things that you like really does help. And I started going down a road of like mental instability. Like I was second guessing myself a lot, and just stuff like that. And you got to take care of yourself mentally and physically. A lot of people talk about mental health nowadays, but if you're not mentally healthy, it's going to lead to being physically unhealthy. So just take care of yourself out there, guys. But anyway, so I got a couple of new comics this past week, and I've been trying to get my Hickman collection up. So I ended up getting the Fantastic Four Complete Collection Volume 3. I have Volume 1. I don't have Volume 2. It's sold out everywhere. I always try to get it, and there's a couple people that are selling it that it's just like, it's a ridiculous price. It's like, guys, I'm not paying $200 for some, you know what I mean? No way. But one series I really, really like, and I got the first 2 volumes, is Earth 1, the Batman Earth 1. I got the Volume 3. I think this just came out this past August, I believe, or maybe July, something like that. I can't wait to read it. I loved Volume 1 and 2. We'll do that someday. But these are the newest ones I got, and I got the hardback edition. And let's open it. And I really like Jeff Johns. I've noticed that Jeff Johns is one. I know he's divisive between people, but I love the stuff that he's done. I've read the whole first volume of the first omnibus of the Green Lantern, and I read the Sinestro Corps War, and I loved it. I thought that everything leading up to it, I thought was good too. And ooh, this is kind of neat. It's like a raised. Ooh, that's neat. That's really cool. See the inside. It's beautiful. So this is done by Jeff Johns, Gary Frank, and Brad Anderson. Gary Frank's art is incredible, man. It's really, really incredible. The coloring in this is fantastic. I love how they're basically made to be graphic novels. They're not like one issue here, one issue there. It's a volume, and it's really, really nice. Really, really cool, guys. So anyway, one of the first things that me and John are going to do, and I thought this would be hilarious, is for some reason, whenever I was laid up basically for the first week, I had been flipping through channels, and usually when my son wakes up, he turns on Nickelodeon or whatever. I think it was a Sunday morning, and I turned it on, and Power Rangers came on. And I was like, I used to watch that whenever I was like 10 or something like that. And 10 or 11, I can't remember. Whenever it came out, I know I was a tiny bit too old to the demographic they were, but you look at it, the way that kids shows are made now, they're either really crazy or just so nerfed it's ridiculous. So I was watching it. I love martial arts. I've done a bunch of martial arts. It's really, really fun, and it gravitated me towards it. And I always wanted a Power Ranger helmet because I thought they looked so cool. And the Green Ranger was like, you know, obviously the one people like, they like the red or the green. At least the kids that I knew. And it's weird how when I saw Power Rangers, this is a weird story. I had seen it before. And how I had seen it was my brother used to get Japanese animation tapes, right? And they would be subtitled. And we had one called Black Magic M66. And I can't remember when it came out, but there was it might not have been that one because it might have come out afterwards. I honestly can't remember which anime it was. Well, at the end of it, there was a 10-minute little thing on Kiro Sentai Juranger. And I remember seeing it and looking at it like, what in the hell is this? There's dinosaurs, there's robots, there's dudes in suits. I was like, oh, and I thought it was cool, but it was not subtitled. So I didn't really understand what was going on. I saw this woman who I thought was like a sorceress and these people, and I just didn't get it. So when I saw the commercial for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and I saw this, I was like, wait a minute. And I remember I was looking through the tapes and I put it in and I was like, what is this? Oh, this show. Maybe it's, you know, this show, but in America. But then I was like, wait, these characters are different. They're totally different. So I was infatuated with it. I had watched the first, I think, I never saw anything past the Mighty Morphin era. I never saw, I knew it had existed, but by that time I was already doing stuff on my own and not, you know, I was fully immersed in the comic world by that point. And it was cool because when my son is a little guy, I have 4 kids, but my littlest son, he came and crawled into bed, and Sunday he was like, you know, cartoons. I had just turned on Nickelodeon, and a newer Power Rangers was on, and I was just like, what in the hell is this? It was really odd. It was weird. And he liked it. And I was like, well, buddy, if you like this, you know, I'm gonna show you the old Power Rangers. And I went on YouTube, and the Power Rangers official channel has like a bunch of full seasons up there. So I went on Amazon to get some comics, and I had heard and seen through different channels that Boom Studios or Boom Comics, I can't remember whatever it is, had a Power Rangers comic that did really well, and it was apparently awesome. So I got that for myself, but in the midst of doing that, I looked for Power Rangers DVDs, and a company called Shout Factory had put out all the Saban, Disney, and whatever eras that was up until they went to Nickelodeon, from the research I've done. And I got the first like 3 seasons. It was a big box set, and it was like $11 for DVDs, and I was like, this is cool. So me and my little guy started watching it, and he loved it. And so one day I'm on Amazon, and I'm looking, and I start looking for Power Ranger stuff. I ended up ordering like all the DVDs and all that stuff because they're like $8 a piece, and they had like things where you could get like 6 or 7 seasons for like $40. And I was like, shit, I'll do that. And when I saw this one thing, I ordered it just for my kid, because it's weird how when I was little, everybody like gravitated toward Jason or Tommy, right? But Tommy was like the one that drove the show. Well, it's funny because my littlest one was like, Tommy, the Green Ranger, Tommy. And I'm like, wow, that's crazy that like even now, how many ever years later, they still gravitate towards that character. And then when he became the White Ranger, he was like, oh, this is so cool, because he was mad whenever he lost his powers. He was mad. And I tried to watch every episode, but it's like hard. Some of them are just terrible, you know, but some of them are really fun. And I watch it at 1.5 speed, because watching it on regular speed is just ridiculous. Sometimes it's just like, ugh. But he loves the White Ranger. So I ended up, when he saw this come in the mail, he was geeked. And he loves wearing it, and I got a helmet. It was part of the Lightning collection, so it was a lot cheaper than some of the helmets that I was looking at from like Aniki and stuff. Those things were like $500, but they were like legit, straight up badass helmets. And I love this. This thing's cool as hell, man. It looks just like the one that I saw on television when I was a kid, so it was very nostalgic for me. So in the midst of doing that, I started talking to my buddy John about it, and he was like, dude, I used to watch that when I was a little kid. He was like, let's do it. Let's review it. And I was like, all right, let's do it. So me and him are going to do that in a humorous manner. And we're also going to start doing the Hickman Avengers run, because I had given that to him to read, and he loved it. So we're going to be doing that. We're going to be doing all sorts of stuff, and I have this idea. I have tons and tons of figurines, tons of characters. I got a green screen. I got a whole bunch of stuff, and he's very good at art and making props. So there is going to be a show where we use the characters, and it's going to be fun. I have a bunch of stuff written out, and it's going to be hilarious and fucking dumb as shit. And I hope everybody likes it. But anyway, I think that's all for tonight. And like I said, the giveaway is still happening. When we rebrand the channel in October, if we can get to the 100 subscribers by then or after then, we will tell you everything, and we're going to do the drawing live. We're going to do the drawing live and give it away live, and hopefully we get enough people in there and start spreading the word. If you guys could help me out, that would be so cool. If not, I understand. But I would really appreciate it if you guys could share this video, like and subscribe. If you want to be entered, all you have to do is subscribe to the channel and have your subscriptions be public, so I can know to pick you. Because when I look at my subscribers, if they're not public, there's nothing there. It only shows me the ones that have their subscriptions public. So you can also, if you don't want to make your subscriptions public, you can hit me up on Twitter, or you can hit me up on Instagram. Just take like a screen cap of your YouTube and showing that you're subscribed, and I'll enter you in. I have like a full studio down here. I have computers over here, or a Mac over here, computers over here, all sorts of stuff. I could just put it in the database, and we're going to do it randomly, and it's going to be a lot of fun, guys. And I really hope that you come on this journey with us, because we are going to have a schedule, because that was the biggest part of what I thought was wrong with my channel. And I thought I did it at the wrong time, because usually at my work, what are called peak season should have ended already, but because of last year being COVID, there's a whole lot of military moves going on still, and I don't have enough time to have a regular schedule. But once that is down, there will be, you will know, like, I'm just saying, this isn't the real schedule, but if I say Laps Comic Fan is on Tuesday, you're getting a Laps Comic Fan on Tuesday. Bat Bits Thursday, you're getting Bat Bits Thursday. Whatever me and John do on Saturday, or what, you get the idea. So I just am really excited, and I feel good, and I hope you guys out there are taking care of yourself. And just remember, man, life can be taken like that for some dumb shit like potassium. I ain't got nothing else to say. Fuck it.